Get ready for an exciting journey through time and firepower. Today's video is all about the legendary Simonov self-loading carbine, more famously known as the SKS or SKS-45. We're diving deep into its origins, how it was ingeniously crafted, the roles it played, its standout features, and the quirks that set it apart. We'll explore why it rivaled the iconic Kalashnikov and uncover the reasons behind the Soviet Army's surpassing decision to phase out such an impressive piece of weaponry. Stay hooked until the end, and don't forget, smash that like button to show your support. Flashback to the Soviet Union era, a time brimming with groundbreaking military inventions. Among these marvels was the SKS, a gem crafted by ingenious minds. The tale of this firearm begins in 1943, right after the 7.62 by 39mm cartridge made its debut, sparking a frenzy of development for new firearms tailored to this ammo. By the end of 1944, Simonov unveiled the first SKS models, evolving from his early designs that were sidelined due to wartime factory evacuations. This wasn't just any carbine, it came with a nifty integral folding bayonet, ditched the muzzle brake compensator, and featured a removable gas chamber. Talk about a makeover. Its debut was met with applause, but the SKS was a work in progress until 1949, when it officially joined the Soviet Army's arsenal. For a decade, the SKS stood shoulder to shoulder with the Kalashnikov and the Degtyarev light machine gun. Each had its time to shine. While the AK's burst fire upped the ante in close quarters and group engagements, the SKS was the marksman's choice thanks to its superior accuracy. Its barrel and sighting line, stretching an extra 4 inches longer than the AK's, were a game changer in precision. The SKS was a maestro in medium to long distance shootouts thanks to its innovative loading mechanism and clip-fed magazine. However, the tides of military strategy were turning. By the late 1950s, the Soviet Army was all about uniformity. Despite the SKS's sharpshooting prowess, the higher-ups deemed it secondary to the AK's rapid-fire capabilities in the evolving face of combat. Thus began the gradual shift from carbines to automatic rifles across the infantry. But the story doesn't end there. The SKS found its niche with air defense troops and in various engineering, military construction, and support units where a good old firefight wasn't the daily bread. This resilient warrior of a weapon continued its service well into the early 1990s. Imagine being the brain behind a top-selling weapon like the SKS rifle, but not seeing a single ruble of the royalties. Welcome to Sergey Simonov's world in the Soviet Union. In the land of Uncle Sam, if you're the mastermind of a hot-selling weapon, you're looking at a financial bonanza. That's because the capitalist model lets inventors and private firms enjoy a hefty cut of the profits, thanks to things like royalties and licensing fees. But Simonov's story plays out like a financial thriller with a twist. Despite being the architect of the SKS rifle, his bank account didn't swell with each sale. Why? Because he was on the Soviet government's payroll. In this state-controlled economy, when the SKS rifles flew off the shelves, the cash flowed straight into the state's coffers, not Simonov's pocket. He might have gotten his regular paycheck and some shiny medals, but the lucrative revenue streams? They were a no-show for him. The Soviet government was the venture capitalist of its time, taking on the financial risk and investment in weapon development. It was a high-stakes game. Sometimes they hit the jackpot, other times it was a bust. But when the SKS rifle became a hot commodity, selling millions, the government reaped the windfall profits. It's like hitting the jackpot in a state-run casino. The house always wins. Crunching the numbers on SKS sales is like diving into a murky financial pond. There aren't enough breadcrumbs to follow. But let's play with some numbers. Suppose around 10 million SKS rifles were sold at a ballpark figure of $100 each. That's a revenue estimate of a whopping $1 billion. However, remember, this is speculative bookkeeping. Now, let's take a walk down an alternative financial timeline. If Simonov had been a modern-day weapon inventor in a market-driven economy, we're talking about a potential multi-millionaire status. In today's world, his innovative genius could have translated into a financial windfall with his bank account potentially bursting at the seams with every SKS rifle sold. But alas, in the Soviet Union, that kind of personal financial success story was just a capitalist fairy tale. Step into the world of the SKS, where tradition meets modernity in a spectacle of ceremonial grandeur. Nowadays, the SKS isn't just a rifle, it's a symbol of honor and precision, shining in its role as a ceremonial weapon. Imagine the splendor of national holidays, the majestic parades on Red Square, and the harmonious tunes of military orchestra festivals. The SKS is there as steadfast guardian of tradition and a key player in these grand events. Its sleek design, free from cumbersome protrusions, makes it perfect for the sharp, synchronized movements of drill routines. But wait, there's more. The SKS isn't confined to the parade ground. In the Russian Federation and several other countries, this iconic carbine is also a civilian's ally, available for sale to those with the right paperwork. And for the hunting enthusiasts, the SKS is a prized possession renowned for its straightforward design and spot-on precision in shooting, a hunter's reliable companion in the wild. Now, let's dive into the fascinating mechanics of the SKS. Picture this, you pull the trigger, and as the bullet races through the barrel, a high-pressure dance of gunpowder gases whirls through a tiny hole into the gas chamber. Here, they mobilize an orchestra of parts: the gas piston, the pusher, and the all-important bolt. The bolt springs into action, opening the barrel channel, compressing the return spring, and cocking the firing pin. Meanwhile, the spent cartridge case is smoothly ejected, making way for the new. The bolt, powered by the return mechanism, leaps forward, feeding a fresh cartridge into the chamber, ready for the next symphony of fire. But the SKS isn't just mechanical poetry, it's got brains too. When the last round is fired, the bolt halts, a clever signal to the shooter, time to reload. This built-in alert system is just another reason the SKS is more than just a rifle. It's a marvel of engineering. Talking about range, the SKS isn't shy. It can accurately hit a target at a chest figure from 365 meters or about 400 yards, with effective ranges stretching up to 800 meters or around 900 yards for ground targets, and 500 meters, that's about 550 yards for air targets. And the bullet? It packs a punch up to 1.5 kilometers or almost 1 mile. But let's not forget, in the heat of modern warfare, the SKS has its limits. The biggest challenge? It's a loading system requiring a skilled hand with clips, and the stock, though historic, could use an ergonomic upgrade for those long aiming sessions. During assembly and disassembly, vigilance is key to avoid any unintended slip-ups with the gas piston pusher lock. And in the quiet of the hunt, the last thing you want is the clanging of its cleaning rod and fasteners, potentially spoiling a perfect shot. So there you have it, the SKS, a blend of history, ceremony, and practicality wrapped up in a package of mechanical ingenuity. It's a story of how a rifle transcends its roles on the battlefield to become a symbol of heritage and a trusted tool for the modern marksman. Buckle up, gamers and history buffs alike. Can you imagine the legendary SKS not making its way into the thrilling universe of modern video games? It's like peanut butter without jelly, summer without the beach. A shining star in this digital armory is Escape from Tarkov. In this game, the SKS isn't just a gun, it's a virtual masterpiece. Its mechanics are so lifelike, you'll feel the recoil right through your screen. And talk about customization, it's like playing dress up with your firearm. Slap on a scope, attach an extra handle, pop in a magazine, and voila! You've got yourself a precision tool that would make a sniper blush. But wait, there's a twist. In the world of Tarkov, it's not just about pointing and shooting. The kind of ammo you feed your SKS or the gear your digital nemesis sports can be the difference between virtual glory and game over. Remember, in the pixelated battlefield, it's all a game, but let's not forget the real world, where a bullet doesn't care about your high score or your fancy digital armor. Out here, even a bulletproof vest, a shot from the SKS could send you on a not-so-pleasant trip to Bone Town. The SKS saga continues in Battlefield 3, stepping into the sniper's den. Here, the SKS is the exclusive toy of the Scout class. Talk about elite club privileges. but every hero has its Achilles heel. In Battlefield 3, the SKS's damage stats are a bit of a letdown, requiring an extra shot to score a takedown compared to its semi-auto cousins. But hey, if you're looking for a challenge, this is it! And props to the game designers for nailing the weapon's low spread, keeping it true to its real-life roots. So, fellow gamers and history enthusiasts, have you crossed paths with the SKS in any other virtual realms? Spill the beans in the comments, hit that like button like it owes you money, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic content. Stay sharp and let the digital bullets fly.